If you bring a lawsuit in New York, did you know that oftentimes the defense is going to use an affirmative defense known as assumption of risk? You want to know what that means? Come join me as I share with you this great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. Assumption of risk means that you have assumed the risk of getting hurt, and that if in fact you do get hurt as a result of whatever activity you were engaged in, now the defense is going to turn around and say, hey, don't blame us. You knew the risk going into this, you actively chose to accept the risk, and now you suffered injury because of that risk. Now, does that make sense? I will tell you that there are some instances where even though the defense claims that you assume the risk of injury, there's still some cases where we can show that the assumption of risk, that the fact that you suffered injury was still negligence, was still carelessness on the part of the defense. And in some cases we can still show that because of the defense's carelessness, even though they claim that they had you sign an assumption of risk waiver, we can still show that they are still responsible. Now, how that gets done is a whole involved process for another video, but needless to say that when you bring a lawsuit claiming that you suffered injury, don't be surprised when the defense turns around and says, hey, don't blame us. You actively engaged and chose to go into this activity knowing that there was a risk associated with it, and yet you still went ahead with that particular procedure or activity. So why do I share this information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what some of the defenses are going to be when you bring a lawsuit in a medical malpractice case, in an accident case, car accident case, or even a wrongful death matter. You know, you're probably watching this because you do have legal questions. Well, if your matter happened here in New York and you have legal questions that you need answered, pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. This is something I do every single day, and I welcome your call. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, G-E-R-R-Y, at Oginski-law.com. Well, that's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.